Yeah. Lucky, I told you earlier. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that in the
Shane, you got
Oh, okay, yeah, you sang very well.
related to Abhidevana.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. My Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskaram to each. We are going to start with the program this evening. Just a few house rules. For those of you that are here, please do partake of, there are some refreshments on the table. But also whilst in partaking of that, please ensure that you do so as quietly as possible. For those of you that need to take any calls or have cell phones, you can switch them on silent. And most importantly, if you know the songs and hymns we're going to sing, please do sing along with us. And also join in the second half where we'll offer the Deeparadhane. With that being said, I kindly ask you to rise for the opening prayer. Thank you. So, சுகத்தவனே முக்தி நலம் சொன்னவனே தூய்மே சுகத்தவனே மன்னவனே செல்பழனே ஐங்கரனே செஞ்சடையல் சேகரனே தட்பரனே நின்பார் சரணம் உலகலாம் உணர்ந்த ஓதற்கு ஆரியவள் நீல உலாவிகள் நீர்மணி வேணியள் உலகலாம் உணர்ந்த ஓதற்கு ஆரியவள் நீல உலாவிகள் நீர்மணி வேணியள் ஆலக சோதையில் அம்பலத்து ஆறுவார் ஆலக சோதையில் அம்பலத்து ஆறுவார் மறுசிலம் வரி வாழ்சிவனங்கோ மறுசிலம் வரி வாழ்சிவனங்கோ மறுசிலம் வரி வாழ்சிவனங்கோ திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Thank you. May be seated. Shri Ram Charanam Shambho Mahadev
नारायण हरे
Kayuni te manave My namaskarams, vanakkam, namaste, and a very good evening to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being so attentive throughout the devotional items that we're singing. And just to offer a little bit of insight into why we're here and scripturally what's the purpose of this. Often in times or in life we take things for granted, that when we wake up in the morning we'll go to work or we'll get on with our tasks, and all of this in the Bhagavad Gita is said to be sustained by the Atma or the soul. It is the energy that wakes us up every morning, that gives us purpose. And just as we wake up in the morning, have a bath and put on new clothes or whatever it is, overalls, or wherever you may be going to, you adorn yourself with the various different items. If you're going for a wedding, you dress on your best. And if you're going for any other occasion, you dress accordingly. And it's often said that this Atma is just like the effulgent energy within us. Fire cannot burn it, water cannot drown it. Nothing can diminish this energy of the Atma. But over lifetimes, it wears different clothing for the different occasions. The reason for this is that karmically, we all have this good and bad karma that we have. The good karma we do is the spontaneous acts of seva, the nama sankirtan, the chanting of God's names, the attending of temple functions, and all these different pathways. And some of the bad karmas we have is like greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, all these things. So the Atma accumulates this, and over the years and years, it puts on different clothing. The clothing we physically see is the body that we have lost. So this body that has perished, or this body that had this bit of clothing on it, has now shed that cloth. And as we continue to make this prayer, we pray that this journey that the soul is, it may be a peaceful one, may be one that is most blissful. And it's said also that with one finger you can accomplish a little bit of work, but as you join in these fingers and continue to make this hand, you can achieve so much power is represented in that hand, that you can pick up bigger items. Just like that, individually we pray, but collectively when we reach these functions, we collectively pray so that our prayer is that much more intensified. Also, in a way, it's for us to be reminded when we see Appa's frame here in the front that nothing in life is guaranteed. So for whatever moment you have here, take the time out to enjoy with the company, with the family, with the friends, relatives, and put a person's face. For it is said that when you take the time out to put a smile, apologies for that. So we have a tribute which is delivered via voice note. So we're going to play that now, and thereafter we'll have a tribute by the elder sister, which is Desiree Naidoo, and this tribute is delivered by Desiree Naidoo via voice note. So please do listen on this.
Good afternoon, family and friends. Greetings from the United. Good afternoon, family and friends. Greetings from the Naidoos in Abuja. We unfortunately are missing another milestone family celebration of life of my dear late dad. Greetings from the boys and I. Unfortunately, they're still at school, so this message is coming from just myself, Desiree. Once again, very, very special thank you to my big brother for always being the center of this family and putting this together, honoring our late dad, who would have turned 71 today. but his snowballs and Coke from Anisa's bakery didn't allow him to be around to celebrate 71 years. Once again, thank you, Sean. Thank you for loving us all so much. Thank you for honoring Daddy in this way. I'm sure everything looks so, so beautiful. Sabrina, you are there holding it up for the sisterhood yet again. Thank you so much. I hope you're wearing a Punjabi and Daddy would say, mother, mother. You truly were like his little mother. Thank you so much. To Auntie Girl, and I'm not sure if Uncle Basil is there this time around. Thank you both as well for sticking by my mom and standing by the family. I'm so grateful that we have such a close bond with y'all. And to my dad's family, I'm not sure who's around, so I'm just gonna say this from the cuff, please. I don't mean to leave out anyone. But to my dad's family, we really, really miss you all over here. And I also want to thank you all. Thank you for also helping instilling the values in us on days like this. I remember my dad's training and upbringing and the lessons he's taught me, the stories about Kitty Police and Tapi Road. So I really want to thank you all. Thank you for also sharing such a close bond with my mom. I see what it means to have in-laws that really care, the bond she shares with all of you. So thank you all. To everyone that's present at home, I hope there's enough gulab jams today and all the sweet stuff that my dad loved so much. Thank you all for being there and for celebrating his life and remembering him in this special way. And to my mom, as usual, thank you, Mama. Thank you for being an amazing wife to my father, even though I still blame you for his death because of all the sweet items. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being such an amazing love of his life. You've truly shown us what true love is all about, what sticking by your loved ones is all about. You're such a strong woman, Roy's girlfriend, as we would say. Thank you for being an amazing mom. Thank you for honoring my dad as well. Thank you for always remembering him. Thank you for loving him so deeply, for taking care of him and the entire family. I love you so much. We miss you all. And just a message to my dad, because I do know he's listening and he's watching over all of us. It's amazing having an angel watch over us, having an angel in heaven watch over all of us. I want to thank you so much for your love and for everything you did, especially with regards to being able to put me through university, give me such a good quality education, teach me such values that have become so important in passing those on to my own sons. I want to thank you for all of that and protecting us, even as you're up there in heaven, protecting us always, listening to our prayers. Thank you, Daddy. We love you so much. We miss you so, so, so much. Just today, to celebrate my dad, I had gone out to an Indian restaurant in Abuja and was explaining to my friend that my dad would definitely, in situations like this, he would never want us to mourn him. He would rather say, play Dr. Victor and the Rasta Rebels, or play some Bob Marley, and no tears, no crying. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to honor your life. And we want to say thank you for so much. You were an amazing soul. So thank you, Daddy. We love you so much. Tafel. Thank you, family.
Thank you to Desiree in absentia for that voice note. You know, when we share or when we come and commemorate times like this, we celebrate life for that. We never know how life may turn out. And in the celebration that we have, we also pay homage to all our, as we call it, our ancestors that have done so much for us to be here right now, for us to enjoy this quality of life that we have. So thank you, Desiree, for that beautiful tribute. Next up, we have the vote of thanks, which will be done by Sean's younger sister, Sabrina, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, family and friends. So on behalf of our family, we would like to thank you all for being here tonight. Firstly, Guru Malan, we'd like to thank you for being family, for always assisting with our prayers and our rituals. Anesh for the catering, tent and chairs, and Sally for the beautiful decor and in our dad's favorite colors. Nadia for the delicious birthday cake, and Vanessa and Anesh from Relaxing for always being there for our family for every occasion. Shane Coupin for rendering your services this evening, thank you very much. You Dave for providing the live stream so that our family in Nigeria can take part in this special day with us. Mystique and Amreason, thank you both for always being here for us, for always supporting us. And yeah, whenever we need you. Auntie Willow, thank you for always being one call away. We love you so much. Catherine, thank you for your yummy snacks, for always being so supportive as well. Auntie Ragini, thank you especially for today, for everything. Andreka and your boys as well, thank you. Beauty and Lucy, you're inside somewhere, but thank you very much for assisting today as well. But just to everyone, for our family and our friends, thank you to everyone who's traveled far and wide to share this evening with us. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Sabrina, for that. Ladies and gentlemen, as we reach the second half of the ceremony, or the celebration of life as we call it, we will do we'll do a few sacred hymns or devarams and chanting. And whilst this is done, we'll give the immediate family first a chance to offer the Deeparadhane, to turn the Deepak also, which is the clay lamp there, offer the petals. And thereafter, once they have done, you may do so in your family groups as well. Thank you. वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय श्री राम जय जय राम 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 Ladies and gentlemen, can I kindly ask Parigam closing prayers? For those that haven't turned, you may turn, and once they have done, then Sean and the family can continue their art.
Patti
மழையாய் பொழியும் நினைந்தருது சொல்லா பொழியும் துதையாய் பொழியும் தோடாய் பொழியும் எல்லாய் பொழியும் பொருதருவாய் கட்சியேய கம்பனி அசுதோமா சகமயா தமசோர்மா ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतर्गमया ॐ शान्ति 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 Thank you. May be seated. Once again, on behalf of the Naidoo family, they extend their deepest gratitude to each and every one of you for making time out in attending this memorial. And I think the family has provided some dinner as well as snacks and cool drink and all of that. So please do partake of this prasadam that they have lovingly offered. And to stay back with him and enjoy a cup of tea and some snacks as well, which will be served as well. So I think the serving stations are on my left-hand side here. Once the food is available, you may make your way. Mika Nandri, thank you very much. Namaskar. Okay. So. I think there's a lovely cake here, and while I'm singing, I'm just like distracted. So it looks so decadent and beautiful. I think Sister mentioned throughout someone that has made it. So thank you very much for your love offering in the form of this cake, and to all of you that has contributed in whatever way, just by even your presence here. Thank you very much. Amma would like to cut the cake along with the family if anyone wants to. And once that is done, she will then partake in dinner. So much, ladies and gentlemen, and to the family, and to Uncle Roy, may be a blessed heavenly birthday. I think the meals are being served, so please do partake of that. And to wherever you may be traveling, a safe journey back home. Mika Nandri.